let me let you guys into a little secret. Ricky had to lane against the Queen of Pain the other game yesterday. In the entire time, he's complaining about how this hero is just unkillable now. It has too much healing. There's just no counter
I was a
to it.
melee hero in the Queen of Pain. Like, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I'm like
It
pretty
was
tanky
tanking
normally,
two
and I'm
creep
just like,
waves. I can't do anything against. It's too powerful.
I couldn't believe it, dude.
I shouldn't be calling you out like this,
It's
dude.
fine, dude. This hero, yeah, has a ton of sustain. It's something like 15 HP regen with 2 points in dagger.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like, that's ridiculous. Like, how is that a thing? Uh,
It was actually a Bloodseeker matched up against a Queen of Pain, and that's why Team is picking it now. Sammy Boy was actually watching our Cryptic stream,
yeah, it must
and
have
he was
been.
going, yeah, it's just unplayable Bloodseeker and the Queen of Pain. So you get the chance to be proven right here if this Bloodseeker is played mid.
It's definitely Sacred Bloodseeker in the offlane. I don't think Bloodseeker's a mid lane. I don't think it can be played mid. Like, the slight buff to Thirst is like kind of nice, but it's not. It doesn't mean he's like a mid lane hero.
We'll see.
They ban out the
That would
Invoker and the
be
Lena, which are all good heroes against the Queen of Pain for sure.
mhm. Terrorblade and Gyrocopter on the other side. I'm surprised that Phantom Lancer wasn't banned out after the disgusting series that we just watched. Beast Ghost getting eliminated.
I
There,
mean, Team
fair
Team
play
could
to
go
Como.
for it. It's just something that's like Sammy doesn't play a lot of Phantom Lancer. I don't think. Like, I haven't really seen him play a lot of PL in the last year. Right? You think about Sammy heroes. It's been literally the four final bans there. Medusa, Terrorblade, Gyro, things like Luna. Clinks was like even something they would pick sometimes, but a lot of Sammy's like iconic heroes are all removed. His Naga Siren is not.
Did you see? Did you see? Oh, we haven't done the chance to talk about it yet. The Burning Barrage changes. I know Sammy Boy does like playing Clinks, but we're not going to see it here. I feel like it could be good once
I
you have a
think
little bit of
Clinks
time to
actually
set.
can farm stacks now, which means he's going to be
Mhm.
meta. Like, this whole patch is like you need someone that can farm stacks, and Clinks now just destroys stacks. I go and grab the Kunkka despite being into the Queen of Pain, so it's going to be a rough lane there, um, for alone, but it is one of those things where it is good at dealing with the Queen of Pain as well as the Pangolier in the late game. All right, just like having that X setup is really good. One thing we also had mentioned, Mike got super buffed this patch, considering Bane is back.
Yeah. This is a Mike classic. That in the Crystal Maiden with a mustache. Crystal Maiden
Yes.
got buffs as well. So IX Mike's back, baby. Ice Frog saw that his boy IX Michael was coming back to Dota 2. He's on Team, and he goes, "You know what? I'm gonna do you a solid. Let's give IX Mike one last ride."
Love it.
Uh, Anyhow, last pick coming out here on Team. They're playing against a Kunkka in a Wraith King. I feel Sammy Boy's been trying to play Faceless Void recently. I don't think it's something you'll take here.
It's
You'll just
not that good in the
yeah,
Wraith King.
not good against Wraith King. Kind of awful.
It's actually
In
not bad
fact,
late, because like you can just kill Wraith King twice. It's just it makes your chrono a lot less useful early. Um, they still might go for it. They go Morphling. Not a bad Morphling game,
interesting. It's not bad.
but it's also
It
not
can fight into
great.
these hands.
There's not like a really good hero here that I want to morph into if I'm playing Morphling here. Maybe you can morph into your ally, like into your Pango with an Ags, and just like constantly have like the swashbuckle bonus range and stuff like that, which will be pretty useful. But
Mhm.
yeah, this doesn't feel like I don't know, maybe just a comfort pick there. Matches up really well into the Wraith King, that's for sure.
Yeah. Kunkka also kind of struggles to stand his ground and fight against any sort of agility carry. So he's not going to be able to fight into the Morphling so well himself. The Bloodseeker, you don't have to worry about the rupture. You're invulnerable while you're waveforming away. So you can kind of escape these fights. I don't mind. I feel like there weren't a lot of options. There's like Phantom Lancer, but you fall victim to the rupture as well if you're playing that hero. So Morphling might struggle to come online, but I have a feeling this game we'll see something similar we saw at the last, where Sammy Boyd just ends up popping off on the Morphling like we saw him do on the Phantom Lancer last game.
All right. We're into it. First game of this best of 3 elimination here. Infamous and Team Team. we'll see how it goes. You know, Infamous, I think people like know them for being a super stable roster and performing pretty dang well. They've had a good run, but they struggled a little bit in the groups here. TeamTeam, brand new roster. You don't really know a whole lot about them, but I don't think they've lost with techies. So you got that going for them. I don't think they've lost with techies.
I just don't want to see a techies game, man. I wanted to see new games on the new patch, not be trapped here for 60+ minutes by Flea, holding the game hostage, holding the tournament hostage. Right. 3 out of 20 MVP seems like a kind of a low number. Seems like a techies player to me.
I think you just end up getting a lot of reports when you're a techies player, right?
Yeah. That's true. Well, he's only bronze on this year. Doesn't play it a ton, it looks like. He's level 1 techies. Only in scrims, right?
Yeah, only in scrims. Oh my gosh. Mike on his favorite hero, Bane, level 28.
I can't imagine what that's like. It's like using Nightmare on yourself, but never being able to wake up. That's what playing Bane is like. Single target ability is very cool.
I'll help my weak and puny allies where I can.
All right, this should, outside of the techies, this should be a good game, though. I'm excited to watch Infamous. They've been playing pretty well. They were my favorites for the SA qualifier to make it into the International this year. Team, I feel like they're getting a little bit better with every game. They play a lot like 4Zoomers that way. I'm not sure if they've had enough time, but this is going to be elimination. It's on a brand new patch. Sammy Boy said in the lobby before we started, this is his first game on it. I imagine he was busy last night. But everybody here has obviously gone over patch notes at the very least. They wouldn't be doing something like playing Path of Exile all night, right?
Mike. Yeah, probably not. Probably not, at least. You can hope so, right? A new patch drops, you would at least try and learn the new patch before playing other games, right? Especially if you got your own tournament. Ooh, they're gonna get the D ward. That was quick.
Yeah. Going to be a good one, though. We'll see how much this heal provides to Roya here in the mid lane. I'm curious if it can out heal the Tidebringer on the Kunkka. Because previously, this would be a kind of back and forth matchup. Queen of Pain would be forced to get a little bit of extra HP regen. Like every time you go in, you do get the Tidebringer off, but then you're forced to get hit by a Shadow Strike. So you'll put at least 2 points in the Shadow Strike in this lane. But I'm not sure if it out heals Tidebringer damage. It's a level 1 Scream of Pain, though, just to secure extra CS here.
Yeah, you need to be able to get that range creep. You can't afford to lose that and not get level 2 early.
Yeah. Loaned is decent the first wave. I mean, we're used to seeing this from him. I think he needs Eye Annihilate. He absolutely bodied him in the landing phase.
I do remember that, yes.
But then Eye Annihilate ended up recovering, I think, like, owning him later on. Ended up being a little bit back and forth. Taking a look at some of these other lanes. We talked about it last time. Keeper of the Light a little bit weaker than he was before, just due to the fact that his Illuminate now takes 3 seconds to channel for max damage. So we ended up missing Brax there, which he wouldn't have done on the previous patch. It does feel a lot worse early on, but I think as the game goes on, overall, I think Keeper of the Light is stronger than he was before. The big buff being the cooldown reduction on the Chakra Magic going down by 2 seconds. So it's only an 8-second cooldown once you have that 15 talent.
Flea just being a huge nuisance here on the techies. I mean, I actually really like this. Going the Shield Crash 1, I think this is like one of my favorite ways to play this off lane. If you don't really need the mobility from Swashbuckle, you definitely want to save the mana and go for the Shield Crash 1 because it makes you tankier. You get the range creep for sure. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet. I'll have to watch more. Hopefully Brax will be streaming after this. I can ask him his thoughts. What a guy. Shout out to the Brax Street boys, by the way.
Really cool Discord
guy. Yeah. Man just answers any kind of question you ask him in his Discord about the game.
He lent you a Lamborghini that one time, didn't he?
He did.
Do you still have the Rolex he gave you too?
I do. He said, don't worry about it for now. I know you'll get me back when you're good enough. I haven't been good in a while, so I've just been holding on to it.
Dire's bottom tower is under
That's so weird seeing Lucky Shot proc and then not get slowed.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I was talking about at the start. It feels kind of awful because you don't get those extra couple of auto attacks off onto somebody after you lucky shot onto them. They just continue walking away just as fast as they were before. Mid lane. Roya trying to put all the hurt onto a lone that he can. Didn't get that last scream of pain off, but he might be able to finish him.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, he does.
This is about how I figured this lane would go, to be honest. That's about it. Just slowly tying to a Queen of Pain.
You were right. It's unplayable.
It's pretty miserable. Mike, falling low bottom lane, almost goes down, but will survive, salving himself up. Roya seeing, I wonder if he's gonna go the third point in the Shadow Strike. That feels like you grief your game if you do. I think you just need the 2 points and you still max the Scream of Pain. But we'll see.
Yep.
He is holding the point currently. Meanwhile, Fleet just stacking camps. Good old techies.
Ended up putting the point into Scream, so he's got 2-1-2.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah,
Alright. I want Flea to kill all of these creeps. I want him to triple mine this hard camp and take all of it. Bottom lane, a nice dive there coming in. Michael he has Windrun in 1. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah. He's not going to be able to blow him. They end up reducing the damage that early levels of Adaptive Strike do as well, so you don't have as much harass, you don't have as much CSing ability down here.
I mean, not at early levels, just all levels. Adaptive Strike base is just reduced by 30 at all levels.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It feels kind of like awful earlier, though, because you suddenly don't do enough damage to finish off a creep with it. Makes Mikey. They're zoning Sacred now. He's going to be forced to buy himself a salve. He wants to continue to get close to lane and heal up off of Thirst. This one they nerfed as well. It now heals you half the amount as it did before on Deny, so it's harder to stay inside the lane.
Well, it used to not give you any heal on denies. That was the change. Like they removed the heal on denies completely, but now it does at least half heal on denies.
Wait, when did they change it to be no heal on Denies?
For a while ago.
Oh my god.
Like the whole last patch, I'm pretty sure it didn't heal you at all on denies. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I'm fairly sure you didn't get any health back on denies.
Oh, maybe I'm just not a Bloodseeker player.
I don't know. I haven't seen that hero in a long time. I could be totally delusional though, so don't Oh, wait, he did clear up the hard stack? Flea did exactly what I said. He triple mined the hard stack. He's just jungling on techies. Stacking these ancients over and over.
So this is the meta now, huh?
It is quite good. I mean, they only nerfed the later damage levels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes down by 20 on each level after the first one. So.
Oh my god, Bloodseeker barely surviving bottom here.
He's gonna get out though, but just getting zoned again and again. He's got another salve coming out to him right now. It might be worth it just to run all the way back to base at this point though.
Wow, he is gonna come back to the lane. All right. I mean, there's a lot of creeps on the tower. You actually can't afford to miss that XP.
He's bought multiple salves though. He's trying to clear Ancients on Flea. This is hilarious. I need to look elsewhere though.
There's no way, right? There's no way he does this. He's gonna get another stack off though. I mean, this ancient stack. Does it actually stack? Okay, it did not. That would have been impressive. Flea now level 5, third proxy mine. He's doing it.
Is this... Alright, he's just finding neutral items as well, I guess.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, don't do this in your pubs, please.
There's something unsettling about this.
He's more farmed than the Bloodseeker.
I don't like this. I don't
Mom!
like this at all.
Tell him to stop. Possessed Mask and Tumblr's Toy also gonna be dropped there.
I don't like this because I'm worried that it might be good.
Dude, he just got all
Level
5
6.
jungle items in 50 seconds.
He's level 6 and he got all the jungle items. This is unsettling. I need. What's happening, Ned? There's Roya and Michael down here. Okay, nothing's happening. Top lane.
I mean,
Blasting
Brax
up
is
the
just
way-
chilling. He's just farming. Like the Wraith King's out into the jungle. Brax just took over the off lane like pretty safe. 3 points in the shield crash, like I was talking about. It's a lot of damage reduction. Low cooldown, high damage.
Yeah. Right. Alone, he's finally caught up. Actually pulled ahead of Roya on farm. But Roya's going to go in on him. You've got a lot of HP here on the Kunkka. He's got a lot of armor as well, especially if he's sitting by the tower. Not going to be able to finish him off. So we're actually looking to turn this onto the Queen of Pain.
I really like this Hood of Defiance pickup. This is sick. Alone's got to be careful. If he sticks around too long, yeah, that's exactly what I was wondering.
Yeah, he's dead. He can just finish him off with the ult.
Yep. He does get an X off, but there's no follow-up coming his way. Michael is already put to sleep, and Ryo is out.
Yep. That heal does add up. The 20 per tick in the earlier levels. I mean, the fact that fight was drawn out so long, you take so much damage on the Kunkka. You just want to trade with a very quick burst of damage on the Queen of Pain. Once that boat buff wore off, though, he was just done.
There is a Wraith King putting a little bit of pressure on the top tower here. Going, I'm assuming Midas.
Yep, he's got it already. He's
Okay,
just got a recipe again queued up. So, phase boots, hand of Midas, and going for the Radiance next. So the classic Wraith King build. It's going to be all right this game. Against the techies, it feels pretty good. Just get back up immediately. Though the Wraith King was nerfed, the cooldown at level. Oh, Lemire, he's going to go down once.
They need to get that first health before Rolling Thunder, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Rolling Thunder comes out, going to be able to chain stun the Wraith King down pretty heavily here. But on the backside of the fight is Alone doing a lot of work, and now Brax has to retarget. He can't really just focus on this and just jump down to the low ground. While mid lane, a lot of pressure being placed on the towers. Sammy and Ryoya here. Michael does have a haste rune, which is quite nice for him. Oh, he's just going to take your courier. He might pay for this one. There's no mana for a shackle quite yet, but Rupture does come out. Ryoya, I think, is just dead here.
Can you get the blink trick off? He did not.
I think you need level 4 blink for that.
Oh yeah, you do. You need 1300.
Yeah.
Okay. Not 1300 all levels anymore. But yeah, you like you blink and you walk like a step, right?
Yeah.
And just don't take damage. Damage is calculated slightly afterwards, so ends up being a nice kill going the way of Sacred. He's been working on a Hooded Defiant as his first item. He's got his face buttes right now. Got himself a Spirit Vessel as well. Against the Morphling, well, he's got himself an Iron. Against the Morphling, Spirit Vessel pretty important though.
He has kind of
healing
griefed
reduction.
his team's net worth, by the way. He is second most farmed on his team, but you have a Morphling and a Pangolier that like can't farm anywhere right now. Mid lane Roya does get the tier 1 bottom. They will lose it to Sacred, so a little trade on towers there. They're also pressuring top though, which is quite good for Pango. He's gonna go the Mage Slayer. All right, I was curious if anyone would ever buy this item.
I tried to build it yesterday and I felt kind of awful.
Yeah, it still looks kind of awful, so I'm not that surprised.
I mean, it gives you mana regen, and if you can get on top of multiple targets, it kind of looks good. It depends on who you're playing against, I think.
Mid lane, Roya gonna be able to just try and oh, what a perfectly timed blink, able to disengage. Now a big sonic wave coming through, but Michael just sitting on top of him here with this Windrunner. He does have a blink in 1 second, gets canceled. He's dead now. Rupture finding Brax, Fiend's Grip finding the Kunkka. And now they need to get out of here on the side of Infamous. I don't think he can stick around any longer. You trade 1 for 1. It's gonna be the mid laners that go down.
Yep. Sacred's gonna get out of this one as well. Everyone's just backing off at this point, though. Not able to take the tier 1 tower despite all these rotations here on Infamous.
What?
Ice Mike.
I didn't think he got hit by that blood right, but apparently it was just enough. Nice disarm, some magic damage burst, but it's gonna be a level 4 power shot from Michael.
Better luck next life.
Finishing him off now. Michael going for his blink dagger. Got it in another 500 gold here. So looking to get on top of heroes and start these fights. Right now they struggle to fight into these team heroes. I mean, this is where the techie's weakness comes into play. The enemies can just kind of run at you if you don't already have mine set up. You're basically playing a hero down.
He does have a lot of items though on Techie. Like, he's got an Aether Lens completed. He's gonna have the shard at 20 minutes exactly, and once you have the shard, you do have a lot of playmaking potential on this hero.
He is quite farmed. I'll give him that. We have to be careful about invading this jungle here, but they're not able to make too many aggressive plays here, and it's usually what you want to do on the Queen of Pain, is play far forward.
Absolutely. She's kind of fallen off after going up against Kunkka in the mid lane. Like, doesn't have the network that we were expecting. He does have the Oblivion Staff completed, so he's going the Orchid build. All right. I like the Orchid Kunkka build. I think it's actually pretty sick. It's really good against heroes like Queen of Pain, because she does not want to have to get like a BKB or like a Yule Scepter that early, but she's going to have no choice now. So here's the thing with Mage Slayer, right? Like, I looked at Mage Slayer and I was like, all right, this hero is going to be good on like exclusively the agi heroes that want to build Hooded Defiance, right?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, it is. I was looking at something Trent said in the chat. He said at least Gale Force isn't on the same team to push you into the mines. Trent is a sick mind.
It doesn't do that much pushback. They do manage to find Queen of Pain bottom, and that's exactly what we're talking about. The Orchid reveal coming in from Alone, and even the Blink Dagger from Michael to help find that kill. Yeah, Gale Force, I mean, it's basically a 300 MS slow, essentially. So it's like, you either stand still or you get zoomed into a place you don't want to go.
Yeah. All right. At this point, I think. Oh, okay. Mine's end up catching out.
250 MS.
Yeah. Ends up clearing up all the mines, get himself a little bit of gold. Queen of Pain struggles to fight into the enemy at this point. I mean, he's working on a Sanj Kaya now. If you get yourself a BKB or Yule Scepter, you don't worry about the X as much, but at this point Alone is going to have a pretty easy time catching him out with 4 points into the X. Top. Inside the jungle, Ix might get cut up by the Wind Ranger, and Alone manages to find another kill.
Yeah, the Orchid putting in heavy lifting already. Mike, I mean, doing what he can to stall, but it just feels like they're kind of lost here on the side of TeamTeam. Like, there's not really anyone who is like taking advantage of any space being made. I guess you could argue that it's Flea on this Techies, who, you know, will be able to buy a shard, and he's going to close in on an Aghanim Scepter, but you do have an issue of like your other cores really do need to come online fairly quickly here.
It's going to take a while for Morpheus to do this. I mean, this is the same thing we saw in the PL game. We saw Beast Coast up 5k net worth in a PL game, but they just had like the superior carry there, and they managed to turn things around and win. I imagine it'll be a pretty similar situation for TeamTeam in this game. Sammy Boy does play. Oh.
They smoked bottom. They're going to find Ryoya here. The boat comes out. Can he get the blink? Nah, they got all the control. So many follow-up stuns there, and now Mike as well found by Lumiere here on this Wraith King. Should be an easy pickoff once again.
Yeah, I mean, at this point they're falling apart. This is what I was talking about. The Yules or the BKB would have gotten you out of that one, but it's only 12% status resist on just the Sanj by itself at this point. It's just not enough.
They at least managed to escape on Brax, which was a nice swashbuckle away from him, but Sammy still really not that farmed here on this Morphling. Does have the Manta style completed. It is a great way of, like we said, dealing with this early Orchid from the Kunkka, and something you don't really have an option to build. But top lane, they rotate up and they take down Brax. They're just continuing the aggression here. They didn't even have to commit the Rupture.
Now, finding kill after kill all over the map now, and I mean, they're dealing with the Techies' mines pretty well. The Kunkka, a couple of times, he's activating X marks the spot, walking into these stasis traps, and just Xing himself back before the mines taking his full 2 seconds to proc and bring him.
That's
so Alone's have an interesting way of dealing with this one. I kind of like it. And now they're finishing the last of the items they need to be able to fight in this Morphling. Sacred now finishing up this Spirit Vessel. Only needs another 225 gold, and he's got that one complete. And they're farming up the tier 2 neutral items. Queen of Pains, I mean, this is what I was talking about. It ends up building the Hooded Defiance, which is like, okay, there's a lot of magic damage coming out from these enemy heroes. It's going to blow you up. But I think, like, you really need this Yules or the BKB. Like, you're just getting locked down and blown up now. You're sitting at 2 and 4. I think Yules need to be your first item this game. And it kind of sucks building that on Queen of Pain if you're playing super aggressive. But when you're down a hero, you're going to start to blow people up. And Morphling needs to farm as well. So you're going to be playing pretty defensive even though you're on this Queen of Pain.
Yeah, I think what their main plan is right now is to just kind of avoid fights, right? Unless you get like a nice pick off, but there's nothing, you can't fight into this. So you can't fight into the Kunkka +1, and unfortunately for them, Sammy gets caught in his own jungle and goes down.
Yep, stunned up by that Shackle. I mean, this is why they wanted the Blink Dagger first on the Wind Ranger. It's so important to get on top of these heroes and blow them up. They have great chain stun afterwards. They just run, hit this initial Shackle shot. Comes out too fast for them to deal with. 5k net with advantage now. I mean, they will be able to kind of defend high ground. They are playing into the Techies. But Techie still needs a bit more farm. He's actually, like you mentioned, opting to go the Shard is one of his first items.
Yeah, it is very
so
good.
He'll be able to contribute to the fights with the bonus blast off, cast range and stun, but not if they're losing super hard. And it looks like they're losing super hard. Again. Yeah.
It will tank the gank for Mr. Brax there, but also in trouble. Ryoya trying to get eyes on him in the trees. He does have a TP out, but all right, they have guessed incorrectly, and Ryoya will be fine. Well, maybe not. They do have this ward sentry here deep in the lane. If they do get eyes on him, Kunkka could go for an X play.
He's gonna be fine for now, but he's forced to play aggressive and continue to make space for Sammy Boy. They have to like sit in these lanes and show themselves, so they can't just play everywhere on the map.
Yeah. Wraith King pushing mid. They do have Fiend's Grip. They could make for that play here, and honestly, if they had... Yeah, there's no one here in time, and with Michael rotating in, it's an easy way of canceling that Fiend's Grip. We'll just go ahead and deny the tower instead, and turn their attention on over to Sammy. He does get the Morph off, and looks like Infamous just going to back off.
Yep. So for a pretty long time, but they're just fine. They can't really punish Lumiere for going in on that one either. Maybe if Brax had, instead of a Mage Slayer, a Diffusal Blade, but at this point, we're 20 minutes in already. If they go back for that item, he's just going to pick up a Negative Shard for himself, and he'll be just fine. So, again, there were nerfs to Wraith King this patch. It's 60-second cooldown and reincarnation rather than 40, so he is a little bit weaker come the late game.
Yeah.
Morphling already did a pretty good job of fighting into that hero to begin with. Is just too much agility, too much armor and damage for strength carry to deal with. But he's quite a bit more farm than Morphling right now. 3,400 net worth up on him. Now working on this Eye of Scotty.
Brax doing a decent job at trying to cut the lanes here. Does have a Yule's killed up himself. So like we said, you do need some form of dispel on your heroes. You cannot just get taken down by this Orchid. It's going to be Yule's coming in from Brax, and then I'm assuming Queen of Pain. All right, she's just sticking with the Kaya Sange. Now queues up a Shiva's Guard. So a little bit of a greedy build here from Ryoya. We'll see if he's able to keep himself in the game, though.
Man, I'm not even sure this is greedy. This is just kind of crazy. I mean, you can stand your ground and fight, maybe, if you've got, like, the AoE Shadow Strike. Maybe that's a logic behind it. The Kaya Sange, the extra...
Alright, well, Flea took down Keeper of the Light. I hear Orchid. Oh, Mike canceled the Fiend's Grip! Well, that's the second time we've seen it today. The cast point reduction actually being a big deal. Stunning up the Kunkka. Rolling Thunder coming through. Rupture. Brax immediately just gonna TP home. Hey, take down Kunkka. Not bad there. Mike will dodge out that Blood Rite, of course. And Sacred will continue the chase here, looking to take down this IX Mike Bane. Easy enough for them. Honestly, not a bad exchange there for TeamTeam, considering everything.
Yeah, they did need something for this. It did end up being like a 2-for-1 trade. They got the Bane. They lost the Bane. They ended up giving up the Kunkka and the Keeper of the Light that started that team fight. They don't want to continue to push off of this one and look for anything else though, because playing against the techies, you just have to be so much more careful with your positioning. It's what really gets you is the fatigue of thinking, okay, I won a team fight now, I can go forward and push, I can board up the enemy zones, but you're so much slower doing all that because before you perform a reaction, you need to put wards down, or you need to stop and attack these mines and whatnot. So instead, they're smart enough to back up, instead turn their attention to bottom lane where they know the techies hasn't really been recently. I can't tell. I'll have to zoom in on these mine stacks to see how many there are. All right, there's only 2.
There's a gem already on Keeper of the Light, though. So you have this really frustrating vision coming in from the Coddle that techies hates playing against. So you have to like be a lot more strategic with your mine placements, hiding them in the trees constantly.
Most of the Aghanim Scepter done, so over the minefield sign. I think by the time they're ready to push high ground, IX Mike is about to get himself killed though. Just walked too far forward.
Just gets instantly stunned and clapped, but it is space as their team is in Roche. Right, Mike throwing his body at them so they can just take Roche on instead, and that one will be going the way of Sammy here on the Morphling. I mean, trading tier 2 bottom for Roche is kind of like that's like the gold standard. That's what always happens, it seems like.
The oldest trick in the scroll.
I didn't even know that we had scrolls. Oh, Sammy in some trouble. Flea just hiding in the trees. Nope, gets found by Wind Ranger there. And that's going to have a refresh shackle. So 2 pretty much coming out back to back. Techies, no chance of getting out of here. Sammy silenced up as well. There is going to be this Rolling Thunder doing what he can to try and make some space, but Sammy's Aegis, it gets claimed. He just TP's out on Brax. He's like, sorry, brother, I am leaving. Reform into the pit, an immediate shackle in from Michael. They got this number, man. They can't escape. You're gonna lose Bloodseeker on the backside, but I think you're very content with this trade once again.
Wait, who's got? Yeah. Ended up just getting silenced up by multiple things there on the Bloodright and the Orchid that came out afterwards. So Sammy just can't get a break, and they're not gonna be able to kill even this Wraith King. I mean, he's still on his first life. They haven't brought him down a second time. That Roche ended up being for nothing. If Mr. is going to run it down, Techie doesn't have mines up yet. He's still dead. And he's 600 gold away from this Aghanim Scepter. So he's not getting that bonus damage. He doesn't have the mines shield sign available. Infamous, I think they're ready to try and push high ground at this point.
Roya bottom lane in a lot of trouble here. Gonna get pulled back. There's the shackle from Michael as well as the focus fire. We'll finally be able to blink, but the chase is going to continue. It's on cooldown for about 3 more seconds with the Wraithfire Blast there. That is a super dead Queen of Pain.
I mean, you're going to get the first blink off, but again, I feel like it solves a lot of your problems. You just have that Yule Scepter with BKB instead of going for this build that where he's going this game.
Brax just sniped the gem. Oh, well, he might get sniped himself. Passes it off to Flea. Get out, Mr. President. No, the rupture. Oh, man, it's just too funny. Oh, my God.
They're playing football on TeamTeam. They're not playing Dota. Unfortunate. I'm gonna run in this one down the mid lane, but Mia trying to find anything else. Sammy Boy ends up getting caught out. Gets the morph off first, but he's gonna be stunned up here for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, Alone's here with an Orchid as well. There's no way he's getting out. There's gonna be all 5 heroes that eventually fall. Now, if I'm trying to make a football reference here, we'll see how good I am. It's I think what TeamTeam went for there was a handoff into a fumble. I'm not 100% sure. Is that the correct terminology? Do you watch sports ball at all?
Yeah, because the enemy got possession of the hand egg there.
Oh, yes, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, I've dabbled in sports ball. I'm a Canadian though, so we all actually just play hockey.
There you go.
They're not really able to slow this one down. Flea, he's a little bit closer to this Aghanim Scepter, but still doesn't have this one completed. Even if he does at this point, I feel like there's such an overwhelming advantage. They're locked in their base right now. Tier 3 neutral items are about to drop. I feel like the situation gets even worse once they have these ones up. Aghanim Scepter now completed on the Bloodseeker, by the way, so you're dealing with 2 ruptures. One's going to come out to the Queen of Pain, the other to the Pangolier, and 2 heroes are just going to be shut down in these team fights. And you still don't have the Mystic Neph completed on Roya.
No, he does not. And it's this, I start to worry, you know, if they're going to be able to like really bounce this back on TeamTeam being 12k behind, losing so much of your map to farm Brax is, you know, heading out here under the cover of smoke, wants to try and find someone. I mean, maybe he'll get lucky and find Coddle again, but he doesn't have the gem. They just decided to put it on Wraith King. Like, he's not going to drop the gem.
I mean, here's the thing. I see what Roya is going for at this point. He's going for the, oh. All right, they're about to lose.
Brax is dead.
Yeah.
That is the initial rupture damage added onto that. That ends up helping find that kill. And Lumiere is chasing after Mike. He wants this guy. He should get him. Eventually, they'll get him. Mike should die here.
Yep.
Maybe they just look for techies instead? Oh, yeah, they do. Okay.
They try to get both, but they just end up getting Flea. He's the more valuable kill anyway. Man's got his Magnum Scepter completed. We're 3-3. I mean, he's doing better than anyone else. It is 8-22 right now. It's super heavily favored for Infamous. And as we get further into this one, XP just as bad, almost a 20,000 advantage for Infamous. They just can't take any of these fights into them in Team. They seem to lack damage. They lack their ability to stand their ground and fight. Before that last team fight, I was going to say I kind of understand what Roy is going for here.
Orc once again, I get picked off
we've
here,
been
able
here
to dodge
before.
out one silence, but Orchid is still available. He's just gonna waveform out. Oh, he gets caught by an X. All right, pops the Manta, still has spider legs. In some trouble here on the morph, but he will finally make it out. BKB is gonna protect the Kunkka for the time being. They don't have anything. Queen of Pain dies solo on the backside of this engagement. Lumiere continuing the chase, looking for Brax as well as IX Mike, trying to heal himself back up, but Lumiere just chops him down.
Yeah, nothing they're able to do. So what I was trying to go off about before Rhea ended up getting solo killed by that Bloodseeker is what he's trying to do is get his 20 talent, an Eternal Shroud, Kaya Sange, and have so much HP regeneration between his talent at 20 and this new Shadow Strike that the enemy simply won't be able to kill him. But we're not going to get to that point, I feel. We're going to get to it way too late.
Well, Techies goes down there, committing his life to, you know, get the reincarnation there from the Wraith King. And it is nerfed, so it is a 60-second cooldown as opposed to 40. So they will be back up on multiple heroes before Lumiere's reincarnation comes off cooldown. They just decide, back off, let's farm safely, push top, why not?
I mean, they're not in any rush. We've got these team heroes locked inside their base for now. Techies gets back up. He's got time to mine up his base. He does still have a minefield sign available.
Looking for Sacred. Morphling losing a lot of health, but the backside of the fight is just Wraith King going in. Both Ruptures now out, holding Sammy Boy and Brax in place, and Brax trying to do what he can. Yules to dodge out some of the damage, but Power Shot comes through. Disarm onto the Bloodseeker, doing what he can, but Sammy, can he actually make it up to the base? He does, and yep, you lose Brax as well. Oh, Ryoya caught by an X, pulled back the Torrent and the Orchid. That's just got to be GG, right? They've got to call it on this one.
The Queen of Pain isn't online. We're not calling GG yet. Besides, they still got Flea. He's got Minefield sign available. We could just plop this on the high ground. They might be too afraid to walk up there.
I mean, they just
All right,
go, they just
never
go
mind.
to
He's
the
not
other
gonna
lane.
drop it. Come on, man. They can't do that. That would be illegal. Yeah, I'm not sure there's a play into this one. Mike doesn't end up dropping the sleep onto Flea, but yeah, they end up heading the other lane as soon as the melee racks it down. They lose Mier a single time, but
You do actually have to be a little careful about that. You don't want to give up that Wraith King right now. So yeah, they will back after the reincarnation.
the extra 20 seconds is a pretty long time. It's level 25 now. He's got the reincarnation Wraithfire Blast, and this gives Flea a little bit of time to mine up his base. But not falling any further behind at the moment. Win probability 99% here.
Yeah, it seems about right to me. Like, I guess you could argue you still have late game Morph, which is like, he is very strong going late game here. Like, if Sammy's able to get like 4 or 5 items, he might be able to just solo carry this, but that is a tall order because you do have like Michael's Wind Ranger that is converting to a semi carry who's going to have an MKB Maelstrom, and I think she can actually just focus fire down this Morphling.
We are getting to that point. That's kind of depressing. Roya is almost level 20. The build is almost online.
They do see Kunkka here. They decide to leave. They just back out.
This is the last thing that needs to happen in this game, Ricky. Voodoo Mask, Eternal Shroud finished on Queen of Pain, and the level 20 talent, and then Roy is online.
I see.
His items will make sense at that point. Oh, we blocked.
I mean, that is pretty cool. He will heal a lot of health, I suppose. Shard gonna come out here. I'm assuming they put this on Kunkka, right? Tidal Wave is very good. Yeah, they'll grab Tidal Wave for Kunkka. Why not? Blast Rig. This is a good Blast Rig game, actually. This is a really good Blast Rig game.
Yeah. I imagine they just hand that one off to Brax. I think it's flying at him right now. No, it's not. He had something else. He'll probably take it, though.
They managed to find Queen of Pain once again. And I don't know if he's getting out. Definitely not. Second rupture onto Brax. He'll just TP home. They will find IX Mike on the backside. 3 heroes nearly die, but this is just getting bad for TeamTeam here, Neff. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't had to use this BKB that is completed on the Winter has a heart heat up for some reason. That's not right. That's not right. All right, Flea's getting mines out in the base right now. He didn't end up throwing up the mine field sign, but not a care in the world. 3 lives here on this Wraith King. He's got Titan's Liver as well. Extra magic resistance from that one. Brax will try to whittle them down. He's got Mage Slayer, but only so much that he's able to do. I think that they went too hard for like this late game Queen of Pain where she'd be unkillable. I think Team tried to do it for the memes this game, and they're being heavily punished this time.
Yeah. They are definitely being punished here, without a doubt. And they can't really defend their barracks. Like, Queen of Pain does not have anything to contribute in these fights. And level 26 Wraith King with all of these heroes, like, all of their cores are so dang tanky. You have Ags, Octarine, Vessel. Maybe they can get Lumiere twice. Oh, no! They messed up the chain stuns. There's gonna be a... I mean, they just interrupt everything. Oh, gosh. Oh, no, Neph. Oh. They're missing some spells here, Neph.
All right. Flea mad. He's just jumping into the enemies, and I imagine it's only a moment before they call this one. Morphling still standing. They still have their core heroes up. Take this Wraith King down another time, though. His cooldown's going to be back up in another 20 seconds here. They have a small window of opportunity to turn this game around.
That's a very small window as Lumiere just blinks in, goes for the Bane. They focus him down. Sam on the backside, trying to just chain up Sacred here, but just gets caught by the silence. He did get the morph off in time, and he's got that Satanic prop doing a lot of healing. Roya comes in, but again, Michael just says, "What's up, dude?" Focus fires him, forces him out of the fight completely. They get mega creeps. Michael will finally go down, but so does Sammy. It's cost you everything, Lumiere. He's got his ultimate back up. Rolling Thunder coming through. Sacred immediately comes in with the Ravage. And now Brax, will he be able to help take down this Kunkka? It looks like finally, but it's cost you pretty much everything up to this point. And now Queen of Pain, you know, like he said, he's got the talent. He's doing what you can. There's a Spirit Vessel, though, Neph.
Hey, this is kind of ownage, though.
It is kind of ownage. It's dead. He's dead, though.
Wait, whose Hurricane Pike was that? Whose Force Staff was it?
That is GG. That was, I don't know. Maybe Coddles? Could have been Coddles.
Oh, I think he saw the, he blinded him down to the low ground there. My bad. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they were just trying to do that game for the memes here on TeamTeam Infamous. They're not messing around, though. They brought the pain. This was a very one-sided match. I think after that initial laning phase where Flea was doing some silly stuff, ended up taking some ancient stack. Queen of Pain ended up getting a solo kill off in the mid lane. But their heroes just didn't come online. They were playing for ultra late. They had the Morphling who needed tons of time to build up. The Queen of Pain build, like if you get a BKB or a Yule Scepter, you don't end up dying at the start. But she wanted to go this build with the Eternal Shroud from the very start. That level 20 is what she was aiming, or what Roy was aiming for here. Going for the extra like HP regeneration from the Sange, the spell lifesteal amp, the one you get from the Shadow Strikes. Like, it's a very sick concept, but it doesn't come online till way too late. And they've got a bunch of strength heroes that are just running at you, and Bloodseeker, who feels like a strength hero with how tanky he is running at you,
Yeah.
is not able to keep up with it.
I mean, this was just like really well itemized too from everyone on the side of Infamous. Like everything that they built pretty much was like hard countered Team. So I love what they did here. Bloodseeker Ags just absolutely owned. The early Orchid was fantastic, and Lumiere just having so much space. And it's going to come back to the same thing I keep saying. If you don't pick a hero that can clear stacks, like a hyper carry that can clear stacks, you're just going to lose. Like Morphling didn't get to farm any of these jungle stacks because techies took all of them, and yikes. Yeah, it's like you said, Team here playing for the memes. We'll see what they do in game number 2, but we're gonna go to a short break, everyone, and we'll be back with game 2 of our final series today. Again, this is a lower bracket elimination series, Team and Infamous. We'll see y'all in a bit.